I'm back. It's been a while. I don't know if anybody remembers from last summer, but my husband is a teacher, and so I'm not alone very much right now in the summertime, and so I am finding it hard to find time and space to get around to filming. And if you will notice in my somewhat bizarre surroundings, I am in my trailer that I just bought. It's an old Trillium from the 70s, and I am fixing it up and I'm gonna make it into an art studio or something. I don't know yet. But anyways, this is the only place I could find peace and quiet. Somebody next door is chainsawing like all morning, so yeah, here I am. I'm trying. Anyways, July has been a busy month for real estate. Maybe more busy than people realize. I don't know how many people have been following what's going on this summer, but the sales are really picking up. So let's get right into it. So for July 2019, the sales that have gone unconditional are 706 sales. So that's versus last year's 651 sales in July 2018. The prices are coming down a little bit, but you can kind of tell that those sales are not as bad as last year. If you remember any of my updates from last year, they were really lagging behind, and it's been busy. You know, I've been so busy, I've been run off my feet, and you can feel it. If you're working in the industry, you can feel how busy it is. The listings that are sitting on the market, the active listings, are still getting higher than they were. They're still climbing. So by the end of this month, there was 2,949 active listings on the market, versus last year there was, let's just read the exact number, there was 2,607 active listings on the market. So for July, if you go back to 2017, that number was a lot lower. There was a lot less in just inventory. So coming up to 2,600 was a big jump last year. That was, I think, like 26% of an increase, thereabouts. So now we've only come up 13% for July this year versus July last year. But just keeping in mind that, you know, since the main explosion of all the action and the, you know, historically low inventory, we're still coming up higher than we were last year. So it is what it is. So the benchmark home prices have gone down slightly. I believe the benchmark home price index for single family homes in the core of Victoria have gone down 3.5%. So for exact numbers, you've got last July in 2018 we were at 889,000 roughly, and now this year, July 2019, we're at 858,000. So that's, I'm just paraphrasing the numbers. I'm leaving out the dollars and cents, but thereabouts. So yeah, that's a 3.5% drop in home price index. Condo HPI though actually has come up 3%. So condos, you know, what you'd notice is a lot of people who are trying to get in the market because there's lots of buyers who've been waiting forever. A lot of them are able to get condos because they're a lower price point. So that is my opinion why condos keep going up. Condos, the HPI for condos in the core of Victoria, not the outlying areas, for 2018 was at 508,000 roughly. And so this July they're at 523,000. So, you know, they keep coming up. They've been coming up since I've been doing update videos. So I'm not surprised. The interest rates are still pretty low, but it's still, in general, what I'm finding is just the price point of what people can afford. Even if the rates went to zero, a lot of people still cannot afford like an $850,000 house. So it is what it is. Now, last time I did an update, I remember somebody asked for the median and the average prices in Victoria. As I said before, I am basically told or recommended to use HPI because it uses more factors and apparently it's more accurate in giving the bigger picture. But for those who are interested in the median prices, I will share that as well. So for single family dwellings in the core area of Victoria, the median price for July 2019 is 750,000. In July 2018, the median single family price was 800,000. You can tell I'm a little bit like overwhelmed, but yeah. So the median price between July this year and July last year, we've come down $50,000. The average single family dwelling home price sold in this year of July is 837,000, and the last year's price for average single family dwelling in the core area was 929,000. So that's a decent drop, you know. So bringing it roundabout, if you think about it, I feel like I'm seeing the same things that they're saying in other areas, is that the sales are actually strong, but the prices are not that amazing. They're, you know, kind of leveling off, and it's getting easier to find things that are actually affordable. Right now, as far as what I'm helping people with, most people are trying to stick under 700,000 for houses typically, and most condos that I'm helping purchase are for first-time buyers or people downsizing, and they're looking in the 350 to 400,000, which is pushing people out to the outlying areas. You're not really getting a great condo downtown for that price. What else am I sensing? So I feel like a lot of the people that I'm working with right now, they are people who have been sitting on the sidelines and they're tired of waiting and they just want to settle down, and which I totally understand. Most of these people are buying for the, sort of my hands like, hello. Most of these people are buying for the long term, and they're aware that the prices may level off a bit, and they know that, but they just want to move on with their lives and they don't want to wait. That being said, I am finding personally, and I can't speak for other realtors, but this is just something I've noticed lately because I'm so heavy with buyers right now. It's like I used to be very heavy last year and the year before with listings, but now it's all buyers, which I actually kind of love. I love working with buyers. But what I'm finding is every time I've written an offer, just in this past month, every time I contact a realtor, and even if the property's been on the market for like 2 or 3 months, if it's been sitting, they're all telling me that, oh, we're having, you know, multiple offers. There's multiple offers. And the first few times I thought, oh, okay, that's kind of, I guess I'm picking popular properties to write offers on. But there's just been so many of them to the point where every realtor has told me that there's multiple offers. But then when it actually comes time to get down to the nuts and bolts of negotiations, and you know, essentially what happens is buyers get tired of being told that, you know, if you're missing out on properties because of multiple offers, you know, the common thing that all my clients have said, and I agree with them, is it feels like a cash grab, because it's like, is there actually any other multiple offers, you know? And it's like, okay, so the realtor basically, I'll submit an offer, and instead of showing their client, they'll string me along for a bit and say, oh, well, we have, you know, other people who are going to write, and you know, so if you want to revise your bid before I show my client, then do so. And right away it puts my back up against a wall, and it makes my clients unhappy as well, because that's just commonly what I'm hearing is, oh, this is what's happening, so go back to your client and get more money. And I'd say, you know, even during the height of the activity in the market in 2017 and even last year, there wasn't that kind of attitude. It was, you know, and I was but offering on properties last year that were one day on the market, really popular properties, and there was none of that, oh, there's multiple offers kind of thing. And so now I'm finding that every realtor, except for one lovely realtor, every realtor is doing that to me. And, you know, essentially when I tell the seller's agent, no, we're not revising it, you can submit it, and if we're outbid, you can tell me. Normally then they change their tune and they shut up and they show the client the offer, and I have a lot of deals coming together right now, so obviously there is a deal to be made, and perhaps there are not other bidders coming in. There's probably not multiple offers, but I'm just finding that's a technique that many realtors appear to be using. It's really frustrating for buyers especially, and you know, it's frustrating for me because as a realtor you're supposed to kind of abide by the code, or you know, be honest and forthcoming with if you actually have any other offers coming. But it's such a gray area when they say, oh, we might have other offers coming in, you know, oh, I have word of it. So it's just something to keep in mind if you're working with a realtor right now and you're finding that there's other people coming in, other multiple offers. I don't know that I believe it right now. I feel like it's, I'm just hearing it from too many realtors on properties that I know don't have multiple offers. And you know, when I finally dig my heels in, you know, most of the time I have to do it on behalf of my client and just say, just trust me. We end up getting the property done for, you know, a much lower price than what the realtor is trying to push for. My theory is that if a property's sitting on the market, or well, if a property's sitting on the market, I feel like they want to get as much money for their client as possible, obviously. But it's also a really tough market, and when things sit, it kind of invites people to lowball. So I feel like they're trying to prevent people bringing in super low balls. Like if their property has been sitting on the market for 4 months, every offer they're going to get is a low ball, unless somebody's willing to pay full price. But that's just in my experience. So it's just something to be mindful of. You know, and the other thing that I'm finding is that there's still people, and this one's really frustrating, but there's still people who are putting their properties artificially low and then expecting bidding wars. And I guess because the market just isn't supporting that right now, they're either getting like 10 offers and then they're not accepting any of them, and then they're canceling their property and relisting at a higher price, you know. So that's still happening, which I think is just retarded. I hate it. Mind my language, but it's retarded. And but it's still happening, so just be mindful of that, because I have had clients that have been really, really PO'd about that. And it's just, you can't control what other realtors are doing or what, you know, their clients want them to do to sell their property. But I'm just finding it's feeling sometimes a little deceitful out there right now, and it's kind of a weird change because I wasn't finding that before. So what else? HELOCs are still climbing. Apparently we're at the highest level of HELOC debt ever. And another thing that I have been hearing a lot of, and I'm just sharing it in case somebody out there owns a property and you're thinking of doing some renos, it's a really tricky time right now because the building in, especially where I am, I'm on the West Shore in Victoria, so out towards the Souk, Langford area, and it's building like crazy. If you've been out this area, it's just absolutely booming. The infrastructure of my area is just, it's expanding at such a rate that it's kind of mind-boggling. Many rental buildings are going up, big apartment complexes, condos, homes. It's just, the whole city is expanding all at once basically, and there's cranes everywhere. And a lot of the construction crews are, and tradespeople are drawn to those jobs because they're trying to get them done. So that kind of leaves small homeowners who are trying to renovate their properties in a weird place, where I'm hearing, and this is probably about the 5th time I've heard that, this guy who I bought this trailer from, actually, he was out in the Sydney area. He had just done a reno on his house and he was just wrapping it up, but he is selling his trailer, I believe, because he's trying to make up for the money that the reno was costing. And that's because he had a quote of, I think, $250,000, and it had gone up to $350,000, and he wasn't even done yet. But he had contractors, essentially because they're so busy, he had fired like a contractor the week before we came and bought the trailer from him, because they just were absent, you know. And it is kind of classic that a tradesperson would do that, you know. There are good ones, but there are ones that are fly by night and they'll show up, you know, once a week to make an appearance and drag the project along. But it's just to the point where I'm hearing, you know, my husband worked with somebody who was doing a reno on his home that he's been in for years. And I think his projected cost was supposed to be around $300,000, and he's not done either. And his costs of renovations had climbed up to $600,000. And in both these cases, they both did their homework on their general contractor, picked really reputable guys, but they still found that they had to fire the general contractors because every tradesperson has been milking them, the contractors have been milking them, and when they complain, the contractor just disappears, never to be seen again, or they have to fire them. So it's just a warning. If you're thinking of doing renos, I would say right now is probably not a great time. If it were me and I was paying people to do my renos, no, I'm not, I'm a cheapskate, do my own renos. I would wait. I would wait until the trades slow down, until they're desperate for work, because right now they are basically in a sea of people looking to renovate their homes, and they're not working hard for their money, and they know they can overcharge you. So that's just my advice. If you're trying to upgrade your house, just wait a little while, because people, like the person who whose reno went from $300,000 to $600,000, that made it so his wife and him have to work 5 extra years before they can retire each. 5 extra years of working. And they were going to retire in a year. So, you know, it makes a huge difference. And, you know, the fact that me buying a cheapo trailer is somebody's way of trying to recoup costs because they got milked by contractors, just, you know, beware. That's all. I'm seeing people get burned so much that it's pretty scary. And once you start the reno, you kind of got to finish it. You don't want to have your house half finished. So anyways, the only other thing that I have been hearing, and it's not really real estate related, but it's just be really careful when you are, you know, heading into buying a house or financing things, because I'm seeing again still a lot of debt, and a lot of people are financing cars that I know. And you know, I had an interesting conversation with a bail bondsman, or he repos things. His family repos cars and things like that. A bailiff. He's a bailiff. And he said that he's been repoing cars like left, right, and center. It's just crazy busy for them. And he even said that he repoed somebody's car that had been living in it. So I guess, you know, you don't know what situation happens with those people, but what really caught my attention was he said that those car companies, they're so tough on people that even if you miss 2 payments, they're coming and towing the car away. So and I'm not joking when I'm hearing of people going $50,000 in debt to buy a new car and finance it. So, you know, just be cautious with that kind of stuff, because you know, it's not just real estate that, you know, gives you a finger on the pulse as to what's going on with the economy and finances. Because, you know, if you ask me, the real crux with, you know, what will affect real estate in the big picture is the economy. And what I'm seeing, and I'll always repeat it, is I'm seeing debt everywhere, because everybody feels like, oh, I have so much money, or my house is worth so much. And every time I hear that, oh, my house is worth so much, I tend to see all these new things showing up in driveways. And, you know, when and if things do get kind of shaky, it's like, you know, you'd be better off buying things cash and being really frugal in that sense. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But it's just interesting to hear from a bailiff that they are, you know, really in a prime season for repoing, and they're really like, they're working out there every single day. And he said it's very, very busy. So if that's any indication, it's that people are having trouble paying for the big fancy things that they're buying. So anyways, I will leave it with that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. I think if anybody's been commenting, they know that I'm probably not reading my comments because I'm avoiding the trolls. I don't know. I don't even know if anybody's trolling me, and I love not knowing. So If you would like to get in touch with me, you can always email me at alice@alicekluge.com. I will answer your emails if you send them to me, so please don't be shy. If you need any help with real estate, you can always get in touch as well. If you want to have a realtor who films videos in dirty old trailers, then that's me. So, anyways, yeah, I'll just, let me just, so this is the kitchen. Ah, there it is. Whoa, 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 luxury. Yeah, I just did the flooring, yesterday. You can kind of see it. Anyways, it's a 1973, and I've just stripped it out. So if anybody that watches my videos is a person who knows about trailer renos, then you should definitely email me, because I'm trying to get this thing roadworthy so I can take it dirt biking and you know, go camping and all that kind of stuff. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but I've stripped it in like a day, so it's going really well so far. But anyways, that's what I'm up to. I will be in touch next month or maybe sooner with some more details on the market. And in the meantime, stay cool and enjoy your summertime, okay? Talk soon. Bye-bye.